Hello, I'm Thomas Schreiner, and I had a friend of mine send me a message today and say, hey, would you mind sharing a video that you made back last fall? And so last fall I went on an amazing lean trip. I was blessed to be able to go on that trip, and he asked me to kind of share that. So I'll introduce that video that I made from back in the fall. But basically, I got to go on a lean adventure, if you will, where we went to multiple companies across 3 different states. So we were in Colorado, Utah, and Washington State. We were in places like Xylem Design with Greg Glebe. We checked out a company that is like a master at flow and throughput accounting in Utah. And then we also checked out FastCap with Paul Akers. And so I had an amazing trip. If you ever get an opportunity to go on a trip like that, I would encourage you to do so. I've been to Japan. This was a very similar trip to like what I've experienced in Japan, except it was in the US, which made it a lot easier to be able to go on a trip like that. It was Quantum Lean. That's who put on the trip, and they're going to be doing some other trips coming up. And if you see that pop up and you have the opportunity, you should definitely go on that trip. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here's my recap of the trip and what I liked or didn't like. So Xylem, I loved that picture right there. Showed what it was like before lean, and basically my takeaway is Greg's pretty much the lean philosopher, but what I enjoyed most was just how dedicated they are. I forget how long it had been since they started doing their morning meetings, and they had never missed a meeting, but they're just dedicated to it, and they keep practicing it. I also enjoyed being able to go out on the shop floor and talk to the folks on the shop floor and just randomly be able to pick people and then ask them questions. Loved the theory of constraints. Had no idea how much I didn't know about the theory of constraints, and I will definitely be looking into that some more. There was a lot of traveling on this trip, but some of the scenery was pretty. Almoxy, that was awesome, especially thinking about the cabinet company and what they were able to peel out of the upfront workers. I thought that was amazing. Probably the best piece that I loved about touring this shop, though, was just flow. I don't know that I've ever seen, short of Japan, a place that had flow so nailed down. They just had it, and it was awesome to watch how the parts moved through there. And really, everybody's working hard, but nobody's going crazy. I also loved how they had their metrics set up, and again, parts just flowed through there very easily. And then the throughput accounting, really enjoyed that. I'd heard about throughput accounting, but that was amazing. Seattle at night was cool. Cost tailored. That tour was interesting. To be perfectly honest, that wasn't my favorite tour. I did, however, enjoy Jeff Koss's talk, and particularly about how it came down to push versus pull in a leadership or management style. That was kind of unique, and I'd never heard of that before, and have even been thinking about that recently at work and how I approach the folks that work for me. And then Paul's Place is absolutely amazing. Been there once before, but each time I go back, it's an amazing place. And the favorite thing that he said that night, they repeated it the next day, was banish sloppiness and fall in love with precision. And so that has really been weighing on my mind lately, especially when I got back. But everything was cool there, especially those little lawnmower robots. That was pretty awesome. And of course, all the guitars were amazing. So I'd been to FastCap once before, and I was really looking forward to going back, and I was very curious to see if it would have improved since the last time I'd been there. I think it had been 3 years since I'd been there, and what blew me away was it had improved. And the last time I was there, I thought it was just about perfect. And I think what amazes me the most about FastCap is just how many small improvements there are, and I guess hence that's 2-second lean, but they are everywhere, and for the most part it's nothing earth-shattering. It's just so many small improvements that add up. So that was kind of the first one. It just everywhere you look, there's some little small improvement that somebody's done, and they go on and on forever. And you can look and look and look, and then come back and you still find some. And I think the second kind of takeaway that I had from that was the power of 3S. So that kind of goes along with the small improvements, but they 3S everything, and so there's never a question, and they just have that down, even I think even better than the Japanese, the small improvements and then 3S. And like I said, it just goes on and on and on. It never stops. And I just spent, I think, an hour walking around checking out all these little small improvements, and it just blew my mind. They were everywhere. And again, a lot of it isn't anything super fancy, but it gets the job done, and it shaves off time, and it makes an improvement. So that was definitely by far my favorite takeaway from FastCap. And then I think the third one was just how strong all their people are. All of their people are trained and really, really strong and lean, and that's pretty amazing to see that and find that with that many people there. And in closing, this trip was pretty much set up like it was in Japan, and I loved it. I would definitely do it again. It was an awesome trip, and I hope I get to go on another one just like it.